Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling, well, a really big one, global education in the 21st century. We've looked at worldwide trends, global statistics, and then we're zooming in on the US, Japan, and Indonesia.
Right.
And the mission really is to figure out, are education systems today actually preparing people for, this competitive global landscape?
That's such a critical question.
Mm.
And things are changing so fast, aren't they?
Yeah.
You've got technology just racing ahead, globalization,
Interconnectedness, yeah.
complex geopolitics. It all demands a completely different skill set. I mean, just knowing stuff isn't enough anymore.
Definitely not.
We need things like critical thinking, problem solving, digital literacy, working together effectively.
Absolutely. And those UNESCO numbers from 2024, they really paint a picture, don't they? Something like 251 million children and youth out of school.
A staggering number.
Yeah.
And the gap is huge. You see 33% in low-income countries compared to just 3% in high-income ones. And over half of those are in sub-Saharan Africa. What's kind of concerning is how slow the progress has been. Only a 1% drop in nearly 10 years.
Just 1%. And access, as you said, is only one piece. Even if kids get into primary school, 88% complete it globally, which sounds good.
But it drops off at the secondary level.
Yeah.
And pre-primary enrollment, it's basically stalled since 2015.
Stalled, yeah.
We're getting close to gender parity for getting in the door, globally speaking.
Yeah.
But girls in low-income countries still struggle much more to actually finish their education.
Right. And then there are the basics. Reading and math. Global adult literacy is 87%, but that hides so much.
Oh, absolutely. Over 96% in developed nations, but average is only 65% in the least developed countries. South Asia, West Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, they have the lowest rates.
And women are disproportionately affected, nearly 2/3 of non-literate youth and adults.
And math. Only 44% of kids globally hit that minimum proficiency by the end of primary. Reading isn't much better. 4 in 10 don't meet the minimum. Learning loss is a real worry now, too.
And the funding behind all this, it's just stark. Low-income countries spending, what, $55 per student?
Yeah, compared to over $8,500 in high-income countries. Even development aid for education has shrunk proportionally.
And some poorer countries spend as much on debt payments as they do on education.
It's a tough reality. Okay, so let's maybe look at some specific examples, starting with the U.S.
Yeah, let's do that. The U.S. system is so decentralized, isn't it? Leads to huge variations state by state.
Exactly. Curriculum like Common Core wasn't adopted everywhere. Teaching methods are all over the place, active learning, blended, project-based.
So how does that translate into outcomes looking at PISA 2022?
Right. The U.S. was near the OECD average in math, actually a bit better in reading and science.
Yeah.
But the math ranking itself was 34th, and that's a drop from 2018.
A drop? What about other tests like TUMIS?
2019, TIMIS looked better. U.S. 4th and 8th graders were above average in math and science then. But the latest national scores, the 2024 NAEP, show reading scores are still declining for both grades.
And funding is a big part of the story there too, right? Local property taxes.
Yeah, local taxes plus state and federal money creates these big disparities. Plus, you have teacher shortages, debates about standardized tests, the digital divide.
Yeah.
Lots of challenges.
Okay, so shifting gears, let's look at Japan. Very different picture.
Very different. A long history, modernized system, that 6-3-3-4 structure.
Yeah.
9 years compulsory.
And a national curriculum set by MEXT, the ministry.
And a huge emphasis on entrance exams.
Yeah.
That whole JUCO or cram school culture is massive.
Right. But they also value lifelong learning. There's even a law about it.
Yeah, since 1990.
Yeah.
And their PISA results are consistently strong. 2022, top 5 in math, top 3 in reading and science among OECD nations. Also top performers in TIMSS 2019.
Impressive. Are they adapting, though, to these 21st century skills we talked about?
They're trying. More interactive classes, bringing in tech. But they hold on to core values like discipline, perseverance. The exam pressure, though, that's still a major, major challenge for students.
Okay, one more system. Indonesia, 4th largest in the world.
Huge system. They've expanded access a lot. 12 years. Compulsory education, secular and Islamic schools coexist.
But they face big challenges too, right? Equity, equality.
Definitely. Urban-rural gaps are significant. And learning outcomes, well, they're a concern. There's a mismatch between skills learned and what the job market needs.
So what are they doing about it? I heard about reforms.
Yeah, the Merdeka Belajar, or Emancipation Curriculum since 2019, it focuses on foundational skills and those 21st century ones, more formative assessment. They're also using tech, trying to boost vocational training.
How are they doing on international tests?
Interestingly, their 2022 PISA scores actually went down on average, but their ranking improved relative to others. Tertiary attainment, like university degrees, is still lower, though.
So, reflecting on all this, the US, Japan, Indonesia, the global stats, what does it even mean to be a modern human that education should prepare?
I think it comes down to that list we started with. Critical thinking, solving problems, digital skills, being adaptable.
Collaboration, communication.
Creativity, emotional intelligence, resilience. Education's job has to be cultivating these, right? Moving beyond just memorizing facts.
Towards more student-centered, inquiry-based learning.
Exactly. And technology is obviously a massive tool here. The World Economic Forum points to tech skills like AI and big data, but also human skills, creative thinking, resilience. They go hand in hand.
So comparing the three, US is flexible but unequal, struggles with math. Japan performs highly but maybe rigidly. Indonesia's expanding access but fighting quality gaps.
Right. But all three are trying to shift towards future skills.
Yeah.
And everywhere, socioeconomic background plays a huge role. There's also criticism of traditional models just focusing on rote learning.
Which is why you see alternatives popping up, like personalized learning or homeschooling.
There's a sense that systemic change is needed, and tech, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? It could widen the gap, or it could really enhance learning if used well, like with AI.
So wrapping up this deep dive, it feels like the key is holistic skills, equity, adaptability, and using tech wisely. Really building lifelong learners. It makes me wonder, what's the single biggest philosophical shift needed in education you think would unlock real global competitiveness for people going forward?